Before or after?
We went down to the oil store. They're like $100 for a barrel. So I'm gonna go home and refine it,
And
so I can save on gasoline.
refining
What do you
your own
think,
oil.
Tony?
It sounds
You
like
wanna
a
come
smart
over and
plan
help
right
me?
now.
You'll come over and help me refine
Yeah.
it. Anyway,
Got YouTube videos. Show me how to refine it. Let's show you how to do anything.
Do it yourself oil refinery. Oh my goodness. Well, I tell you what is no joke, and that is this price of oil, which I don't follow or quite frankly understand, except that I do know when they say oil goes over $100 a barrel, that means eventually in the next week or two or three, here comes the price increases for people at the pump. Fred, is that what you said?
I wish it would take 2
you
or
mean
3
already
weeks.
here. Okay.
Yeah.
Where I get my gas,
Okay.
a little store called Sam's,
Yeah.
it's up about 50 cents.
Since the war started?
Yeah, about 50 cents.
Conflict?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I pass by another gas station in the mornings now on the way to work, and it's about 50, 60 cents there. So that's what. And where we live here in Mississippi, it's still pretty low. Have you
Yeah.
seen some of the prices, like in California, what they're paying?
I haven't.
And other states are up around $6 a gallon now already.
What?
Oh yeah.
$6 a gallon for gas? Where is that?
I'm just watching it on our TV monitors here. Some of them are $5.50 that we're looking at. But here's we listened this morning to an interview with our Energy Secretary Chris Wright. Here's it's not that there is a shortage, he says, of oil and gas. It is just the industry is nervous.
Yep.
It's like the stock market. It hates instability.
Yep.
And so the industry is nervous about things. So have a listen to the Energy Secretary Chris Wright. Says there's plenty of oil in the pipeline. Cut 8.
Energy markets are massively well supplied right now. In fact, the run-up in prices has nothing to do with any shortage of barrels of oil or natural gas. It's just fear and perception, the unknown, that this could be some long, drawn-out crisis, but it won't be. This is a disruption on the way to a much better place to end a 47-year war against America.
Yeah, I think 20% of the world's oil supply comes out of the Persian Gulf.
Yeah. Through the Strait.
But we can take a quick look back in recent history. Venezuela pipelines are now opened up.
Yeah.
That's amazing. The sequence of events, and I've been wondering, was there in some room at the White House, the president sits down, early on in this second administration, says, at this date we're going to do this. At this date we're going to do this. Venezuela had to come before this.
Right.
And so on and so on. The people that are really hurting from this, you're talking about China in particular.
Yeah.
China is hurting because of this.
I haven't heard anything out of them. Are they complaining?
I think they've made
vocally.
statements before.
Usually they're against whatever the U.S. is doing militarily.
I'm sure they made a statement against the operation, but the other thing people have to realize too is the point about this being just solely based off of headlines. I tend to agree with that. Is most of the oil that Iran was producing and sending out was trying to get around was to their allies, like China, and it was done via shadow fleets because they were so heavily sanctioned before. It's not like we were getting Iranian oil, here in the United States, or other countries were getting, who are our allies were getting Iranian oil. They've been sanctioned for years at this point.
All right, let me ask you guys this question. Russia. The accusation is being made that Russia's helping Iran.
Yes.
Militarily.
Mm-hmm.
And, the question about that is, well, is that true? And if so, what do we plan to do about it, if anything, the United States of America? And secondly, I don't understand the connection between Russia and Iran, because Iran is an Islamic Shia Islamic religious state, and that's what they promote. That's why the pagans, in their views, are the religious, heretics in their view great Satan and the little Satan that is Israel and the United States. I'm talking about from the Iranian perspective. And Russia's no friend of Iran in the sense that they have anything politically, ideologically compatible, except I guess they're both at war against the West. So is that you guys? Why would Russia? What would Russia benefit from helping Iran? They got their own problems with the Ukraine war. Tony, figure out that geopolitical problem right there for us.
Well, I think it's a matter of it simply being the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So Russia has been isolated from the West, for so long that they've had to look for allies elsewhere, and they've cozied up to Iran and China as their primary allies. And yeah, though they're not aligned ideologically, the relationship they have was one out of probably, in their view, necessity. So we also have allies. I mean, we can't deny we have allies who aren't ideologically aligned with us. I mean, we're allies with the Saudis, for instance. I mean, so some of that is out of a necessity. But, what this looks like going forward, what the relationship between Russia and Iran looks like going forward, I don't know. Once this regime collapses,
they're going to collapse. You think?
I don't see Russia having a whole lot more to do with Iran. Going beyond this.
Our ambassador to the UN, Michael Walls, talked about this issue of Russia being now involved with this conflict. Cut number 7.
Russia has now lost its largest manufacturer and supplier of drones, these Shahed drones that have been so devastating. Oh, by the way, so have the Houthis, Hezbollah, Hamas, and everyone else. Russia's also lost a supplier of ballistic missiles. So that symbiotic relationship has to break. Special Envoy Witkoff has delivered a very tough message. And at the end of the day, this kind of axis of evil is going to be broken. Iran is no longer going to be a threat and no longer going to be a supplier to China and Russia.
You mean Iran sells weaponry to Russia?
Oh, yeah. They've been doing that since the beginning.
I thought it was the other way around.
No, real cheap. Cheap.
Those Shahed drones.
These drones, compared to a missile, are dirt cheap.
Yeah.
And so Russia's been running out of weapons, so Iran has been supplying them.
And we just sank their big battleship out there that was loaded down with these drones.
Yes.
You're looking at the Shahed drones. I've seen different estimates.
What are they
on the
called?
price. Shahed drones. 20 to 30,000 to produce one versus trying to shoot it down with a missile that cost $3 million. So the math there was obvious for someone like Iran to mass produce these drones. And Russia. I'll say this too. One last thing. Russia. That's the reason why I think they'll kind of drift away from Iran as this conflict drags on, is because now Russia benefits as being one of China's primary sources of oil, with the Strait of Hormuz in conflict and Iran being weakened. So Russia, I could see them drifting away from Iran as this drags on, just because they're kind of benefiting from it.
All right, you're listening to today's issues. What you got next, Fred?
Well,
anything else? Or?
Just one more thing on this front. Keir Starmer, who is the Prime Minister of UK, he is off President Trump's Christmas list.
Doesn't take much.
President Trump is not happy with Starmer.
Okay.
You remember first going off, Starmer denied the United States use of their base in the Indian Ocean. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
This is back a couple weeks ago now. And so President Trump was not happy with that. Now, recently, the Prime Minister Starmer there in the UK said, okay, he's getting some pressure there, some international pressure. Here's what we'll do. We'll send you a couple of our aircraft carriers into the area. And basically, President Trump said, no, thank you. If you're going to help us, you got to do it right from the beginning. Coming in after we've done most of the dirty work is not acceptable. So they had apparently a very, very terse conversation over the weekend. It did not go well.
I can only imagine. going to tear.
Well, Trump told him, we already won. We don't need your help.
Yeah.
That's right.
So,
Do you think, Tim? Do you think that this has anything to do? Because the first thing that came to my mind was why Keir Starmer would kind of flip flop on this is because you think it would have anything to do with the fact that there is a large percentage of Muslims within the UK who often go out on the streets and start burning things
that's a
down.
good point.
Good
point.
You think that factors in at all?
Good factor in, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to offer a alternative observation, but I don't necessarily believe what I say. Does that make sense? I'm going to play the devil's advocate. Can I play devil's advocate? I've often said that I don't think that's appropriate on Christian radio, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Well,
So we're going to play the adversarial role here.
yeah, there we go.
If you're the prime minister of the UK, as a sovereign country, yes, it's our chief ally in the world other than Israel. But if they say, listen, United States, you can do what you got to do, but don't drag us into this thing because we don't agree with going to war with Iran. Okay, if that's the case, then why would you say, but here, use our bases to launch your war against Iran that we don't want any part of? And now they're going to say, Iran's going to say, well, wait a minute, you said you're not a part of this, but here you are letting the Americans attack us from your military bases so they can reach our targets, the targets that they have for us. So I can see if the Prime Minister of the UK, he's just not saying, I'm just not a puppet of the United States. We have our own, our people have their own desires, and I'm not, they're saying that they don't want us to go to war. So you see what I'm saying? I can understand that, but then you got to consider, well, we're going to have to pay the political price for that because you know what we're dealing with. Know who we're dealing with? We're dealing with Trump, President Trump, and he has a tendency. His personality type is to hold grudges, and when he does hold a grudge, he holds it for a long time, usually, until you tell him that you're the greatest president in the history of the world,
Right.
And then we'll get back in with his good graces. But I mean, do you see the perspective? I do see the perspective.
Oh
of you
man, I had to laugh on that one.
Yeah, Prime Minister, if he's only responding to the
Trump is awesome, though. I
to
think
his
Trump is
people's
awesome.
wishes and desires. Does
Trump
that
is
make
awesome.
sense?
Well, I think Tony hit the nail on the head too. There are over 4 million Muslims now.
Yeah.
There are 6
Living in the
in the
UK?
UK.
Yeah.
Yes.
Night.
You've got 6 or 7 of the major British cities now have Muslim mayors. So they are a force to be dealt with.
Are we going to have any Brits left in 25 years, 50 years?
I don't know.
Are we going to find anybody
If
still
they don't
talking?
do something about it, they
That's
won't.
right.
Yeah, there's also, to me, I think our perspective. I mean the United States foreign policy. And the reason why we frowned on this is because of the inconsistency from Keir Starmer on. Okay, you have. There's been no shortage of desire to keep fighting this Ukraine war. I mean, you've been sending armaments, you've been sending whatever logistics, whatever you can to help Ukraine fight Russia, who is an ally of Iran.
Grand Rising, folks. Grand Rising. This is Virginia Select Wayne coming to y'all. Running errands this morning. And as usual, I'm listening to talk radio. And I've gotten home. And I'm listening to this show about the crisis that's going on with the United States and the toxic terrorist Islamic, not Christian, Islamic religion nation, Iran, and what's going on, the whole picture. And first of all, I'm going to say, I'm listening to a lot of folks out here, and they're talking about, they're putting down this country. People who live here, people who are American, are putting down their own country here. talking about Christianity and all this. We shouldn't be fighting Iran. First of all, most of these folks, to me, don't have a clue what they're talking about. They don't have a clue of what they're talking about. The reality is, less than 1% of the people in America, less than 1% actually go to the military. Less than 1%. And out of that 1% who go into the military, like I did, out of that 1%, a whole lot less actually served in the war. I served in 2 wars. In the 1991 Desert Storm and Desert Shield, I served in both of those wars. I was there. So I have a more clear idea of the Middle East and of the like Iran, the Islamic Muslim, how they live, how they really hate us. Most of you guys don't understand that, because most of you guys have never been to the Middle East. Most of you guys have never been out the country. So you're just going on your American beliefs and not looking at this from a world view, because you haven't left the country. You haven't been in. I'm glad you haven't been in war, because I don't want to even go. I don't even want to talk about war and my experience in the military, serving in war. I'm not even going to talk about that, because I'm not even going to go there. But what I'm saying is, I've been over there, and I've been to Bahrain. I've been in the Persian Gulf, Straits of Hormuz, Kuwait, Dubai. I've been all through the Middle East during my time that I served in the military and all that. So, and so forth. So, so I know the culture of these people in the Middle East. They're not Christians at all. Iran is a Islamic Muslim, a hardline Muslim Islamic country that hates. They hate us. They hate Americans. They hate Christianity. They want to get rid of us. They don't like our cultures. They don't like our freedom. They don't like the way we live. They don't like what we celebrate in. Women don't have any rights over there at all. So all you folks running your mouth, Americans, you don't have a clue. You don't have a clue. So I'm gonna get on off that and go to something else. I think what Trump doing, I think what he's doing is right, because a lot of things that the administration does, we don't have privilege to. We really don't know what's going on. We don't know what's going on, because we don't have the first of all, we don't have the top secret clearance and information. We don't have any of that. We don't know what's really going on with what Iran was trying to plot against us or whatever. And then you also have to throw China and Russia into this. This is bigger than just Iran. This whole thing that's going on right now is a whole plot for China, Russia, and Iran to join together to actually destroy the United States, destroy our economy, take us out, whatever. That's the whole plot, people. Y'all don't understand that. So that's what's really going on. My view about this is is that, what I'm thinking is the way this Iran conflict is going, it hasn't been declared a war yet. Only Congress can declare the war, and that's coming. That's coming. We're already at war with them already. It just hasn't been declared by Congress. So my whole view about this is the way this is going. My view is they're gonna have to put boots on the ground. I'm thinking that President Trump is probably gonna have to put American boots on the ground, because Iran, they're not giving up. Iran just elected the son as the new supreme leader, and he's worse than his father was. The son is worse than his father. He's worse than his father. Either he's going to have to. Trump already said that the only way for Iran to stop us bombing them and all that is to give up. Iran's not giving up. They showed you that. They put the son in charge as a new supreme leader who's worse than the father. And you know what's going to happen with that. I hope he has. Well, reality is the U.S. is going to take them out. They're going to take them out soon. So it's going to happen. And it should happen. But it's showing you that this Islamic terrorist Muslim country called Iran, these folks are willing to lose their lives. And the only way I feel that we can beat them, most likely, is for this president probably going to have to put boots on the ground. And as far as the oil going up, me, myself, I try to think forward in life. This is why I bought a Tesla almost 3 years ago. Because I'm always watching things from a political standpoint. I'm watching, the stock market. I'm watching all that. And I already had a feeling that that we've been fighting Iran really economically for 47 years. We've been fighting Iran. So it was only a matter of time for this to happen. So this is why I purchased my Tesla almost 3 years ago, and because I saw this coming, y'all. I saw it coming, and oil is going through the roof. Oil is going to the roof. I think it's like almost $100 a barrel. That's crazy. And gas is going way up. It's going to keep going higher. And my Tesla right here, I'm not concerned about the gas prices because I have not bought gas in almost 3 years. And man, the Tesla sales, from what I'm seeing right now, everybody, a lot of folks are going to buy Teslas now. They're buying Teslas now. They're buying them. And I can say this, driving this Tesla, man, I love it. I love driving this AI car, this smart car that runs on electricity. Do y'all realize it only costs me, if I charge my car at a Tesla supercharging station before 9 a.m., it costs me a little over $9 for almost 300 miles. A full charge of my car costs me a little bit over $9 if I charge before 9 a.m. Y'all hear that? It costs me a little bit over $9 for a full charge. That's almost 300 miles for a little bit over $9. Imagine that. And I can also charge this car at home with my solar generators, my large ones, for free. Think about that. Think about that. Let that sit in. So we're going through a crisis right now, and people are to me, most people are not thinking about the big picture. We've always had wars. Countries have always had wars in the world, and we will always have wars. It's going to continue to happen as long as man is on this earth. As long as you have all these different religions, some are toxic and crazy, like the Iran Islamic nonsense, you know, and you gotta realize the people in Iran are treated horrible. The last supreme leader that Trump had taken out, he killed 30,000 of his own people. He killed them. He took them out. They had no rights over there. They can't protest. They can't do anything. Think about that. Think about you living like that. I've been through the Middle East. I've been over there. I've served my country in war. I know how it is to live in the Middle East. It's a very, 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 very repressive feeling. People had no rights over there. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy over there. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna go too much more into it because me personally, I don't talk about my personal my experiences in the military and kind of, I don't talk about that because it's very it's a very touchy subject, touchy for me to talk about. I don't talk about it because most of you wouldn't understand it anyway because you've never been in the military, you've never been in combat. So I mean, I can't explain it to you. It will probably terrify you. So I'm not going to discuss that. But anyway, that's what I'm going to talk about today. I went on my errand, and I'm just going to talk radio and about what's going on. Oil prices is going to continue to go up. I could care less about oil. In America, we had the power to be self-sustainable. That's the beautiful thing about living in America. This is why I bought a Tesla. This is why I learning how to build my own off-grid solar power generators to make myself more self-sustainable. So when things like this happen, it doesn't affect me. It don't affect me. Now, when I went out today earlier, running my errands, and I went and got my coffee at my coffee place near me, and they gave me coffee grounds for my earthworm farms. They look out for me. And when I pulled up, I noticed people. Guy asked me, man, he says, you're one of the lucky guys. I said, why? He says, man, I saw your veterans plates on your car and all that. Thanks for serving and all that. He says, but you're driving a Tesla and you're not concerned about this gas. I mean, he says, man, my next car is gonna be a Tesla. I ain't got to worry about. I can save tons of money and I ain't got to worry about gas. This happened today when I got my coffee. I said, yeah, you're right. I mean, it's a beautiful thing, and everything. So, the thing is, we have to be more self-sustainable and so forth in our daily lives and all that. And I'm gonna say this, me being a veteran myself, to all those who are overseas fighting the war. I've been there, y'all. I'm praying for all my veterans, all my active duty military who are over there right now. I went through it. I know what you're going through, and I'm praying for you, you know, because ain't nothing pretty about it. And I hope you get back just like I got back when I went through it. And you guys have a nice Monday. And remember, I'm gonna get in here and work on some of my micro food forest projects I got going. Work on that, and I'm staying abreast of what's going on. And with that, you guys have a nice day. And remember, we have to learn how to save ourselves, because ain't nobody coming to save us. Y'all have a nice Monday.